Excel's date and time functions are often used by business analysts, human resource professionals, and project managers, who all frequently deal with scheduling and analyzing data for particular periods of time. But there are also a couple of handy functions for simply entering the current date or time. In this topic, you will work with some of the more commonly used date and time functions. So first, our today function. We actually already took a look at this, and the today function enters the current date in a cell. And this is one of the few functions that has no arguments, just an empty set of parentheses. So again, we took a look at this already, and the syntax for this is equals the function name, which is today. And like I said, this has empty parentheses, no arguments within it. And when I press enter here, it returns the current date for us. Another date and time function is the now function. This is similar to the today function in that it has no arguments, empty set of parentheses. And the now function returns the current date and time in a cell. Syntax for this equals the function name, which is now. Again, no arguments, so empty parentheses. Hit enter, and we get not only our date this time, but the current time as well. So date and time. All right, so that's your today and now function. We also have the date function. And the syntax for this is equals function name, which is date. And you can see the arguments here are going to be the year, the month, and then the day. So these are all separate arguments separated by commas. And this particular function returns the serial number for the date entered in the argument. Okay? So you always have to enter the year in 4 digits. So if you can practice by trying to find the serial number for your birthday. So I'll enter the 4-digit year for mine, 1982. Then you want the 2-digit month. So I'm November 11th, so we have 11. Move to the third argument, 2-digit day. I have 11 as well. Ending parentheses. Hit enter from here. And now you can see it automatically displayed as a date. This is because it recognized this as a date, so it automatically changed my number formatting for me. If you wanted it to see as your serial number, you would go into your Format Cells dialog box in your number category, select the general category, and click OK. So my serial number for my particular birthday is 30266. So again, Excel is automatically going to recognize that as a date data type in a cell, so it automatically changes your number format for you. So you just want to switch that into general. So if we did today's date equals date, the 4-digit year, 2020, 2-digit month, we're in March 03, and the 2-digit day, 17th, ending parentheses. I'm going to do Control Enter to enter this information and stay on the particular cell, because again, it's automatically going to recognize that as a date function. So we can just change this again to general, which has no formatting on it. So the serial number for today, 43907. All right, the next function we'll take a look at is the network days function. And this returns a count of the number of work days between 2 specific dates. And it will automatically exclude any weekends for you. And it has an optional argument where you're able to input any holidays. So for this particular example, I want to determine how many work days are between the start date of June 22nd, 2019 and July 5th of 2019. And you can see it specifies the holiday of July 4th for us. So the syntax for the network days function is going to be equals network days, and you can see my arguments in my screen tip. So for my first argument, I would want my start date. Now you can type that directly in the argument. I have it already referenced in a cell, so I can graphically select that cell or type the cell reference in if I want to. Or I could just type the date in there, whichever way you want to do it. But you want to have that start date in your first argument. So then I want to enter my comma, move to my second argument, which is my end date. So again, I already have that on my worksheet, so I can click on cell B2 for the end date of July 5th, 2019. And you can see the third argument is holidays, and that is in square brackets. When an argument is in square brackets, that means it's optional. It is not required. So you might not have any holidays in between your start and end dates. We do for this instance. So I want to type in my comma to move to my third argument of holidays, and I can go ahead and select cell B4 for July 4th. Close out my parentheses, hit enter here. The number of work days in that time range is going to be 9. So it excluded any weekends, and it also excluded that holiday of July 4th for me. So a quick way to calculate that. And next I have my ISO week num function. And this returns the number of the week in the year for the date entered. So the syntax for this, let me move to my next worksheet here. Syntax for this is going to be equals, name of my function, ISO week num, and then the date. So let's say I wanted to do an easy one that we can recognize the actual week number. We'll do December 31st. So 12/31 2020, ending parentheses. So obviously we know last day of the year is going to fall in the last week of the year, which is week number 52. Now, let's try another one. How about equals ISO week num, double click my formula autocomplete. Let's say we wanted the week number of today's date. Now, instead of typing March 17th, 2020 out, we can actually nest a function here. We already have a function that's going to return today's date, and that is the today function, which we just looked at. So we could nest a function inside of a function. So remember, the today function has no arguments. So an empty parentheses there, and I want to end the parentheses for my ISO week num as well. And it returns the value of 12 here. So March 17th falls on the 12th week of the year. And since we're at the beginning of the year here, we can quickly double check that to make sure it's accurate. Week numbers always start on a Monday, so January 1st. So this would be week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 16th started the 12th week, which we are on now. Okay, so you can see that that is accurate in displaying the actual week number for you.